What's up? This Things I've Learned About Sex, I figured I'd celebrate my almost 2-year anniversary for writing one of my most viral articles I ever wrote on Medium. It was called I've Had the Best Orgasm with Weed Lube and Have Data to Prove It. I wrote it on a whim, but it got picked up on Reddit and like the wellness section of Medium at some point, and it blew up. And at the time, that was the first time I ever shared my orgasm data. So I was like a little semi-horrified that one day, not only would my mom read that I was using a weed lube, but also she could see my orgasm data. But now at this point, who cares? I think I have to emphasize that I live in California. I acquired cannabis lube from legal dispensaries, very legally. And this is really only a suggestion for people that live in legal states or countries. So this is kind of what I would call like a typical normal session with no other factors really involved. It's really, I'm like pretty very steady in my pelvic floor movements, and then the orgasm is the ocean wave pattern with the rhythmic up and down. And then here's one using the weed lube. So in comparison, you can see there's a lot more movements, lots of different sensations that happen, and your pelvic floor is like squeezing and relaxing very intensely. So for these particular two data sets, in comparison, some things I've learned is that with the weed lube, my orgasm was 9 times longer than normal. The orgasm was way more intense, and then the whole session itself was about 3 times longer than normal. So some FAQs and some most common questions that I've gotten about weed lube. So technically THC infused lubricant is pre-lube. So you want to use it like 15 to 20 minutes before you do anything. So you apply it all over like the vulva and vagina. So internally and externally, like 15 to 20 minutes to let it kind of soak in. Personally for me, and most people report that you don't get a psychoactive high because it doesn't really have enough ways to enter the bloodstream through the vagina. But if you have like drug tests or anything important like that, if you accidentally ingest some of it or it enters anally, you will absolutely get a psychoactive high, and it does enter your bloodstream, so highly do not recommend. So the most common question I get is, does it work on penises? And from what I understand, the answer is no, since it doesn't absorb through the skin the same way it does through the vagina. But you know, if you have a special friend that has a vagina, why wouldn't you want to make that person feel amazing? Anyways, that's something that's personally worked for me, that I've seen really huge drastic changes in my Lioness data. Everybody's body is completely different, so what works for me might not work for you. I'm not here to try to tell you how to live your life, but I don't know, if we're all stuck in shelter in place, it could be something fun to try. And you could pick up some other stuff from the dispensary. Mom, I am so sorry. I hope you are not secretly watching any of these videos.